Right, video about a little project I've been doing today. Pretty much most things I do I never really plan. They're all kind of just impromptu, or just suddenly think of something and think, oh, I'm going to do that. And two things that kind of spurred me on to do this. One was on Facebook, a bloke called Paul, I'm not sure how you pronounce his second name, Sigis or something like that. He'd put a picture up of a knife and it had leather scales for the handle and copper rivets. And I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was different. So I thought, I wouldn't mind doing that, but I thought, well, I can't think of no knives I could do it on. And then later on in the day, Mick Keane, he'd put a post up of an old post, and it was one of my videos of where I was making a bow. And in this video I used a knife, a big knife. Well, what had happened to that knife years ago, some of you might remember it from the videos, but years ago I think the handle cracked from chopping. I used to batten with it and used to split great big, you know, like 6 foot lengths, about that big with it. About that round, 6 foot high or 5 foot high, you just split all the way through with this knife, right? And eventually the handle split, the wood split. I took the handle off, and I always thought the handle, because it's a big knife, the handle always felt a bit thin and small. Well, anyway, after Mick had shown that, that suddenly reminded me that I still had the knife sitting around. So I thought I'd have a go at doing, well, redoing it up kind of thing. And this is how it's ended up. I've not quite finished it yet. Still got to finish the sheath and clean up the blade a bit more and do a few other bits. But this is it now. In a minute I'll put some pictures up of the process of me putting the leather handle on and then how I finished it off. Right, I won't show you this properly yet. Watch that and then I'll show you this in depth properly. But I'll just tell you one thing on the pictures. One thing was, I had a plan of putting the leather scales on, drilling all the holes and then putting copper rivets through. It turned out my copper rivets wouldn't go through it, so I had to kind of scrap that idea, and that's when I changed to cord wrapping it as well. But that's turned out pretty decent anyway. So right, I'll just show you, have a look at these pictures. It'll just be a video of pictures of how I did it, and then we'll come back and have a look at this knife. Well, that's how I did it. So what it was 2 leather slabs each side, epoxy resin, then a bit of leather, epoxy resin, then a bit of leather, cut and shaped. Did drill the holes, got a edge beveler and cut some lines in, put some glue on, and then put the cord wrap on. Plaited this, put this on and made the sheath. The sheath was too big for my Kydex press things I've got, way too big. So what I had to do, I had to form this one with bits of wood. What I would do, you know how I did the HDPE, I'd quickly put a bit of leather on and then clamp a piece of wood, clamp a piece of wood, and clamp 2 bits of wood there, and that's come out alright. With this one, because the handle is leather, I didn't want to do it too tight. It's perfectly fine, but what I did, I didn't force it too much, and I really wrapped the top of the handle in loads of masking tape. So that's the knife. Some of you will probably remember this. So this is leather, and then cord wrapped over the top. Still got a few things I want to do to this. One is I've got to clean up the blade a bit more, sharpen it, and that'll probably be the knife done. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to the leather or the handle. A couple of people had said put super glue on it, but I've done that before and it can get a bit hard and it can end up a bit rough in your hand, so I'm going to leave it like this for now. If this does move or anything, then I might do that later. As for the sheath, I've still got to put on it belt loop, and I may put, because it's quite big, I reckon I could fit a ferro rod on the side and maybe even a pouch for a sharpening stone, or a sharpening stone and a tin or something, you know, like a survival tin. So I've still got that to do. To be honest, if I'd have known I was going to end up doing it like this, I may have just used wood or something else, but the thing was, it wasn't actually the plan to do this. It was going to be leather, then copper rivets through, and then leave it looking like leather, but I just couldn't do it. And I couldn't leave it because I just thought, without any pins or anything kind of holding it down, I just don't know. So that's it. Latest project. That's a big knife. Must be "7.5" blade. Just about 13 inches long, all overall. Got a very thick blade on it. "5mm" thick on the back there. So that's made this into a worthwhile knife again. I always liked this knife, but I always thought that, like I said, the handle, it was thinner than this, and that's made it a bit wider with the string as well. It always seemed a very tiny, small handle. It always felt weird. This is much better now. See how it goes. To be honest, if this did fail, like the leather came off, it wouldn't be too hard to just fix again. If I did, I'd probably replace it with wood or something like that and put the pins in it. So that's a little project that I've done today of redoing a knife. I will eventually get round to doing an actual sheath out of Kydex for you, but I'm still trying to make sure I can get one right. Even this one had a slight fail in a different way. I don't know if you can see it, but I've split these rivets again. This one's split, this one is split, this one has come out perfect, and the rest have all split slightly. It shouldn't really matter to the strength of it, but it's not perfect though. Right, so I'm happy with that. That's an old knife, redone good again. Thanks a lot for watching, I'll see you later. If you like that video, then why don't you share it with your friends, and also if you want to see regular videos like this, then subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to get full notifications for my channel, go to this little gear symbol next to where it says subscribed, click on that, and here where it says send me all notifications for this channel, click on that and then save it.